A very good evening. Much thanks for joining us here on the program. This is Lookup Weekend. Welcome to the weekend. The day is Friday, November the 11th, and time 8 p.m. East African time. And I'm here to bring you all the stories that are making headlines and causing conversations today. Before we get into all the business, here are the highlights.
The news headlines in association with
Tonight on Lookup Weekend.
I, Japhet Kwame Chebere, do hereby swear by the Almighty God.
Japhet Kwame promises to deal firmly with lawbreakers as he is sworn in as the new Inspector General of Police. Sentencing of the four convicted over the murder of lawyer Willie Kimani postponed to December the 16th.
I have instructed the Ministry of Finance to work with all the other ministries so that we can shave off 300 billion shillings from this budget.
And President William Ruto keen on tackling public debt as he says the current borrowing trajectory is unacceptable and unsustainable.
Yippee! Kamata floating at 349k. Oh yes, for only 349,000 Kenyan shillings, you become a plot owner at the Great Oasis Gardens, Nanyuki. The Great Oasis Gardens, Nanyuki is located along the Nanyuki-Rumuruti Road, only 11 minutes from the Cedar Mall and right opposite Mount Kenya Wildlife Estate. This is the best place to establish the getaway home that you have always dreamt about. For every 349,000 that you deposit or pay as installment towards any of Optiven's plot of land, you get 10k cash back instantly. Jaza basi twende Nanyuki. Bigger is indeed better.
Once more, welcome to the broadcast. Remember, this live broadcast is coming to you across all our social media platforms as well, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on our YouTube channel, where we are at Lookuptv. I am Nelima, and welcome to the show. Justice Japhet Kwame has been sworn in as the new Inspector General of Police. Kwame takes over the reign of police force from Hilary Mutyambai, who retired on medical grounds. In a ceremony presided over by Chief Justice Martha Kwame, Japhet Kwame has promised to deal firmly with lawbreakers as he works towards securing the nation. Here's our reporter Henry Tende with the details.
I, Japhet Kwame Chebere, do hereby swear by the Almighty God that I will not, without due authority, disclose or make known to any person any information.
Early Friday morning, Japhet Kwame took his oath of office before the Chief Justice Martha Kwame as the new Inspector General of Police, taking over a force that is faced with a myriad of challenges that he knows all too well he must address as he seeks to secure the nation. In this respect, Kwame firmly responds to the recent cases of insecurity where innocent Kenyans have lost lives and property in the hands of criminals.
Tunaambia wakora, uko kule kwa estate, unasumbua wananchi kwa kudunga hao visu, kupiga watu risasi. It will not happen under my watch.
His warning also extends to all those involved in sponsoring cattle rustling, which has left a trail of killings and displacement of people, especially in the northern part of Kenya.
Wale kule wanaiba ng'ombe. Actually, it is livestock rustling. It is not cattle rustling. A lot of property destroyed. Wananchi wanakufa, maofisa wanakufa. Our strategy now is to target the loans. We are calling them livestock loans. And we shall engage Parliament so that such people, they are dealt with for committing a terrorist act.
The new IG affirms his resolve to secure Kenyans and their property.
Yale mali umetafuta kwa bidii, tutachunga hiyo mali. Yeyote anajaribu kuingia kwa mfuko wako, anachukua wallet yako, uko na recordings umenunua ya dhahabu, anataka kuichukua, atapata cha mtemakuni. That is the message we are sending. As I take charge of the National Police Service, Honorable Chief Justice, criminals out there, please bear with me because you face it. We are not threatening anybody, but we are stating things as they are. Tunataka kusema ukweli.
Even as he promises to reform the service, Chief Justice Martha Koome had a special message for him.
The sovereign power of this country resides in the people, and the people have just given us that power so that we serve them. So that when you see a police officer, that authority is exercising comes from the people. The people he is serving. So he should handle them with care and with humility, because indeed they are the bosses.
Martha Koome maintains dictates of law must be followed by the police service to protect the rights of Kenyans.
We are confident that Bwana IG, your tenure, will be marked by a police service that is known for upholding the rule of law and above all is accountable to our people and is associated with protecting the safety and the rights of all citizens.
I want to assure you, Inspector General, your welfare first and that of officers will be our first priority at the Commission.
I promise I'll do my best. I will not let this country down.
Japhet Koome is officially the new Inspector General of Police as he takes over a service that is faced with myriad of challenges. He has laid down rules to his officers and Kenyans at large, but more specifically to those criminals intent on destroying the peace of the nation, that he will not take it lying down. He wants a peaceful country, peaceful enough for existence of every Kenyan. Henry Tende, Lookuptv, Supreme Court of Kenya, Nairobi.
Thank you, Henry Tenden. Still in the corridors of justice, the sentencing of the four convicted over the murder case of lawyer Willie Kimani. His client and the taxi driver have been postponed to December 16th this year. This is after Stephen Chibulet, a suspect who was in custody, remained in custody, complained about health problems related to poor diet.
Sentencing of four convicted suspects over the murder of lawyer Willie Kimani, his client Josephat Mwenda and taxi driver Joseph Mwiruri has been postponed by High Court Judge Daniel Ogembo to 16 December next month. This is after one of the police officers in the murder case asked the court to order officers in prison to provide him with a special diet, claiming that they were offering him with poor diet.
Huko jela mwili yangu imekataa chakula kabisa. Chakula ambayo ninatumia tu ukali, na hiyo ndio chakula yangu. Na hivyo siku nyingine habari ndipo alinipika ndio na nusu. So nilikuwa naomba koti hii apate kunisaidia mimi nipewa tu cabbage na viazi na ukali na maziwa. Hiyo pekee.
Before the trial judge, justice received on 16th of December 2022.
Kesi cases of extrajudicial killings have rampantly increased, and the Independent Policing Oversight IPOA has indicated that so far they have received more than 20,000 complaints of such killings in a period of 10 years since its formulation. Families to the victims will now have to wait further for the final sentencing of the convicted suspects who murdered their beloved ones by the court in the corridors of justice. Susan Jerry, Lookuptv.
And President William Ruto has directed that all pension arrears be settled within the next 2 years. Addressing a stakeholders meeting of the Association of Pension Trustees and Administrators of Kenya in Nairobi, the head of state, in addition, noted that it was wrong to delay the disbursement of the state funds. The move will come as a relief to retired public servants who will now be able to receive their full pension payments within the next 2 years.
With saving being top of his agenda, President William Ruto has said the government is keen on enhancing the retirement saving by people engaged in gainful employment.
We will make the necessary adjustment. I know somebody has asked me whether we can change the Employment Act to provide that every employer must provide for a pension scheme for their employees. I think it is a very reasonable thing to do so that we can make sure that employment provides for the present and the future. Provides for the present and secures the future. And that pension scheme should be mutually contributed between the employer and the employee so that we can all move together. I will give it very serious consideration, and you will hear from me shortly on that.
The president said the current rate of retirement contribution to NSSF of 200 shillings a month cannot generate decent retirement earnings.
We are also working to make sure that as a country we raise our savings. At the moment, it doesn't matter how you look at things. It could be anywhere between 10 or 12%, depending on what numbers you are working with. But we should be able to do better than that, possibly double our percentage of savings as a percentage of GDP. We should be able to do that. It is possible, and we can work together towards achieving that. We're working.
He noted that appropriate legal framework should be put in place to improve the retirement prospects and well-being of millions of workers.
Making proposals to us on what can improve this space. You are the practitioners, you are the professionals, you are the wearers of the shoe, so you know how it feels where. So we are going to work with you, and I'm going to provide as much avenues for us to consult and to work together as will be practically possible.
He was speaking on Friday at the College of Insurance in Nairobi County during the Association of Pension Trustees and Administrators of Kenya stakeholders meeting. The president explained that his administration was interested in striking a formula for making available affordable financing in sufficient amounts to fund development projects on a transformative scale, while at the same time creating attractive investment.
Nimekuja hapa tukubaliane na nyinyi. Nyinyi mko na pesa, lakini mimi nataka niwaombe hii pesa yenu tusitumie kusukuma hii nchi iende kwa madeni. Tutumie kutengeneza nchi ambayo iko na infrastructure ambayo itafaidi Wakenya wote. Kama ni barabara, ifaidi Wakenya wote. Kama ni manyumba, we already have 6.5 million people living in slums. I was in Kibra to begin to...
Brian Amwai, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
And still on the president, on Friday, he vowed to help pensioners acquire land through the affordable housing plan. While speaking at the pension sector stakeholders engagement in Nairobi, Ruto noted that the housing program will help to avert the risk of conmanship in land buying. According to Ruto, the affordable housing program would save pensioners and Kenyans by extension from the arduous process of searching for plots of land to buy.
So I'm giving you an offer that you participate with us in our housing program. We have already negotiated affordable houses. We have, as you are aware, we have a backlog of 2 million houses. We have a shortage of 200,000 houses every year. And we want to make at least 60% of the 200,000 houses that should be built in Kenya every year to be affordable houses. We will have a small section of social housing. We want to work with our pension schemes to make it easy for you to invest by giving you a product that is ready, in investment grade. That's what this Kiliman keeps telling me. You must give us a product that is investment grade. So I am offering an investment grade product to the pension schemes. I am making things easy so that you can invest in and we can all secure the resources of your contributors because they are our collective national resources.
This is Look Up Weekend. We do have to take a very fast break, but I'll be coming back with some business stories and also keep you updated with some sporting action. Don't go too far.
Welcome, you're watching The CEO. On this show, where we invite masters, captains of industry.
It's all about working in teams. Customers are happy, it's a good month, the markets are good. I mean, those are very exciting moments.
Ladies and gentlemen who tell us where and how to find money and put money in our pockets and how to go about doing business in the best possible way.
For me, I'm not serving myself, I'm serving community.
Teams from the Defense Forces Handball Association, and their mission is to battle it out for the Chief of Defense Forces. Bora Cup for the best formation. Action kicks off on Monday the 7th till Tuesday the 15th of November from 8 a.m. daily at the Ulinzi Sports Complex. Team Bora Nigani, come witness the Handball Challenge Cup at its best. This action is brought to you by the Defense Forces Handball Association in partnership with the Kenya Handball Association. Lookuptv and Mudhingi TV are the official media partners. Ni mgaragazano wa wanajeshi.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with Look Up Weekend. The hashtag is Look Up Weekend. It's Lookuptv on Twitter, Lookuptv on Facebook, and Lookuptv on our official YouTube channel. And let's talk matters education. The CBC task force in Uasin Gishu County has tabled parents' dissatisfaction with the education system, saying that the parents feel the CBC system is a burden compared to the 844 system. According to the reports, parents in Uasin Gishu have decried CBC's complex factor made worse by the inflation in the country.
Kindly listen to we are here for...
In line with the report, parents have expressed dissatisfaction with their children joining junior secondary, which will force them to be in the same environment as older children, saying that the students are too young to mingle with their counterparts in secondary school. The early exposure may turn out disastrous.
This is an 11-year-old. He's going to a school where there is a 15, 16-year-old. So parents are not too comfortable. That's the first one. The second one is a question of cost. Right now, secondaries have 4 classes. Primary have 8. So by taking somebody out of 6, you're actually leaving 2 classes empty. Kwa vile ni kitu mpya, hawajazoea, wengine hawakuji nyumbani mapema na wanaona hii ni ngumu. Wengine hata tumeambiwa na wanafunzi wenyewe, mzee ametafuta mwalimu mwingine amsaidie wakati wa jioni na kadhalika, na hiyo ni karama.
As for the students, it is a system of education that they are so excited about. It is, however, a different narrative for a teacher featured in the research, who has decried the complexity of the mode of examination and teaching that requires extra attention and time spent on one student, something that does not match the number of teachers in institutions.
Assessment ya CBC ina upuzi mwingi. Na hatuwezi kudanganyana. Hili nalisema wazi mchana wa Mungu. Sikiliza niwasomee. Msomee mwanafunzi kifungu kifuatacho mara 2. Mjulishe kuwa atajibu maswali baada ya kusomewa kifungu mara 2. Unasomea watoto 70, watoto 100 mara 2, kisha uulize maswali. Una muda gani ya kufanya jambo hilo?
NAT, on the other hand, supports CBC on grounds that the government employs more teachers to support the complex CBC education system.
Wale wanafunzi wa grade ya 7, 8 na 9 wabaki katika primary school. Walimu waongezwe katika mashule yetu. Vile ilivyo sasa, hatuwezi somesha CBC tukiwa na idadi ya walimu wale wako katika shule za msingi na shule za upili wakati huu. Kwa nini tunasema watoto wabaki katika primary school? Kwa sababu kwanza kuna madarasa yale ambayo yalikuwa yanasomewa na darasa la 7 na darasa la 8 in the outgoing system. Tunaunga mkono CBC, lakini tushirikishwe ndani ili tuendelee vizuri.
The National Task Force, chaired by Professor Raphael Munavo, is expected to elaborate on the conduct of key tenets in the curriculum and submit the final report by the 18th of November. Cecilia Lubanga, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Thank you, Lubanga, for the updates. Now, Justice Martha Coleman Friday presided over the installation of the ceremony of Justice Byram Ongaya as Principal Judge of the Employment and Labor Relations Court at the Milimani Law Courts. Ongaya takes over from Lady Justice Maureen Onyango, who served for 5 years. The Chief Justice commended the ELRC for making strides towards developing a dynamic labor jurisprudence that enables the realization of both social justice and economic growth.
Mr. Justice Byram Ongaya, having been elected under Section 5(2) of the Employment and Labor Relations Court Act 2011 as the Principal Judge of the Employment and Labor Relations Court of Kenya, and having previously taken the oath of office of Judge of the Employment and Labor Relations Court of Kenya, do hereby solemnly swear.
Your leadership has exhibited exceptional commitment to the principles and values of leadership outlined in the Constitution, and you have achieved outstanding results evident in the high case clearance rate and people-centered reputation achieved by the court during your tenure.
It is day 1 of your 5 years in the leadership of this court, if God allows it to last 5 years. By that mere election, you have been elevated to the judiciary leadership team, which is chaired by the Honorable the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya and the President of the Supreme Court. I have heard you swear that you are going to give correct counsel to the Chief Justice. You will consort. Judge Helen just picked the words from my mouth, because I was going to tell you here, I was listening carefully, you know I do, and I will get a copy of your speech after this. Because at the end of 5 years, God giving us life, and all of us being here, and if I won't be here, as I keep saying, I'll tweet from wherever I'll be, that you accomplished your promises.
Beyond the ordinary, by genuinely doing ordinary things that honestly matter to meet the genuine great expectations in the office of Principal Judge.
And moving on, the Ministry of Health has embarked on a major crackdown across the county hospitals as they seek to combat the illegal practice of reselling pharmaceutical drugs meant for public use. This comes after a red alert was issued by members of the public who lamented over the increase in compulsory referrals to private chemists. Jenna Mari brings us this story and more in our county roundup.
Move seeks to restore order in government hospitals after it was noted that many government hospitals are subject to illegal practice of reselling drugs meant for public use.
Iwapo tutapata baadhi ya maofisa wetu ni watu wazuri, lakini kuna wale wachache ambao wanaharibu hospitali zetu, na iwapo tutapata mtu yeyote anajihusisha na mambo ya kliniki, mambo ya private chemist, hata possibility ya kuchukua madawa za serikali kwenda kuipeleka kwa private clinic, basi hatua dharura itachukuliwa.
The public has lauded the move, stating that it was costly to procure drugs from private chemists.
Tunafurahi sana, tumeona dawa wamelete. Siku zingine tumetabika sana, lakini leo tumefurahi sana. Tumeona dawa wamelete na serikali, na kuambia serikali asanteni sana.
Elsewhere, bar owners in Kisii County have strongly condemned the recent closure of a number of bars across the county, appealing to the government to offer a better way out, as closing the bar only leads to loss of jobs and revenue.
Don't forget that we are taxpayers. We are the people who pay these managers who are doing this kind of amazement. Tungehomba vile mwenzangu amesema, waende wakae chini, watuite, tuongee, tupate suluhisho.
Finally, religious leaders from Garissa County have urged Garissa citizens to get vaccinated against coronavirus.
Kwa hii muda wa miezi 2 ijayo, tuweze kujitokeza zaidi, watu wadungwe hizi dawa ambazo ni za COVID, ambazo zimetolewa na serikali.
The leaders claim the virus is still active, and getting vaccinated while also observing hygiene will help prevent its transmission.
Sisi kama viongozi vya dini tuliona ya kwamba hiyo mgonjwa ina kinga yake vile Wizara ya Afya ilisema, na sisi hatuko jua. Watu wetu walikuwa hawajatii sana wale yale mawaidha ambayo madaktari walitoa ya kwamba watu wasikuje kwa wengi kwa bahali moja bila ya kukinga, bila ya kuvaa mask, bila ya mikakati ambayo Wizara ya Afya iliwekwa.
John Omari, Lookuptv.
Time now to catch you up on some business stories. President Ruto's government has been heavy on tax collections and has had to contend with a shortfall of 13.9 billion shillings from the first quarter of this financial year, after the taxman collected only 459.5 billion from consumption and income taxes, comprising excess duty, value-added tax and import duty.
Bad start, they said, when taking over office. This is a hard mess. According to provisional data released by Treasury Thursday, the segment missed its target by 2.94%, or an equivalent 13.9 billion shillings, short of the 473.2 billion tax target set by Treasury for the 3-month period through to September 2022. Under Uhuru Kenyatta's regime, the taxman netted an extra 140 billion, which means it is pressure valves on if indeed overall tax targets will be met for the current financial year running to June 2023. Treasury Cabinet Secretary Professor Ndungu has already indicated that for healthy tax receipts to be realized, then the economy has to tick. His sentiments were confirmed as companies largely reported depressed sales in the run-up to the hotly contested presidential vote in August, and thereafter rising living costs, which have eroded purchasing power amid stagnant salaries. As companies continue to adjust to the high cost of doing business occasioned by the runaway inflation, collections from pay-as-you-earn or payee collections were 5% below the 118.6 billion shillings target, while deductions from profits made by companies, cooperatives and trusts were 2.8% short of the expected 116.1 billion shillings. VAT, which has been a big contributor to overall tax receipts, fell short of the 136.5 billion target by 1.5%. Excise duty collections were off the 68.2 billion shillings projections by 4.5%, while import duty receipts overshot the 3-month target by 1.6% to 34.3 billion. It was not all bad news though for the taxman, as the data indicates an improvement under ordinary revenue, which is made up of taxes, levies, rental tax, fines and forfeits, beating the target by 0.5% to 498.3 billion. It will be back to the drawing board now for the new government, as President Ruto has earlier indicated that KRA has the potential to raise 3 trillion shillings in ordinary revenue this financial year, ending June 2023, which will be 538.3 billion shillings, more than the 2.46 trillion target set by the previous administration. For Look at Business, Simba, Elijah Charles Kiage.
Thank you, Simba. Now, the 3-day Big 5 Construction Expo that was held at the Sarit Center came to a close today. The expo is meant to bring together stakeholders from the construction industry and help them network by connecting suppliers and buyers with source products and showcase the latest innovation. The expo brought together exhibitors from 18 countries. Edwin John Mukora attended the expo and filed the following report.
With the affordable housing agenda a top priority for the Kenya Kwanza government, the expo has been seen as instrumental in bringing together suppliers and buyers in the entire construction value chain to showcase products and services that will be instrumental in helping investors conduct businesses in line with the agenda. It is with this background that the event has run for 3 days in Nairobi, at the Sarit Center was put together with investors and buyers alike offered an opportunity to showcase and buy into 21st century technology, service and products.
And then we bring the local region together to come and source the latest product innovations, and then also to get CPD points. So we do have an educational program which takes place again all 3 days. It's free of charge, and we kind of help contractors, architects and engineers to then be able to attain those CPD points while attending our event.
Kenyan investors are optimistic that the expo will benefit them with networking with other players in the industry, as well as give them a chance to interact with their competitors. Sentiments echoed by JD Spa Director Alberto Shianshian.
This is a networking session. We get to interact with also our competitors. We get to understand what's new in the market, what are the new innovations, the trends, what do we need to improve on, what do we need to remove, so that we see how business can grow.
And I would say that is a very positive exhibition. I saw a lot of different people. I noticed a lot of interest in the product. The people really like it and really think that is something that the market needs. We are now negotiating with different distributors in order to have somebody importing the goods over here and to have it available on the market, because in any case most of the people, they want to have the products available here in the Kenyan market, and I think soon will be possible to find Gedi products in Kenyan market.
The expo has already started bearing fruit, as some international investors have already expressed interest in local investments through some of the exposition from the first day event.
Our presence here in Nairobi is to try to prospect new leads and to try to develop African market, Kenyan market. And till today, after 3 days of exhibition, we are really satisfied because we had a lot of success, a lot of exhibitors, and we are facing, I can say, a good interest from the construction sector and from the real estate companies, and I can say till now we are satisfied.
For Look Up Business, Adrian John Mokora.
Time now for some sporting action. The Paralympics team from Western Geisha will participate in the National Paralympics tournament to be held in Nairobi and Nyeri. The tournament is set to identify and select a team that will represent Kenya in Italy. This is the first time the Western Geisha team is participating in the event. Governor Jonathan B. said the county is keen to identify talent from people who are able differently, as they are talented just like any other person.
Serious international games. So as a governor was in issue, I'm so keen about developing the talents of people who are enabled differently.
And KCB Women's Volleyball has shifted focus to tomorrow's match as they face DCI volleyball team. KCB has lost to Kenya Pipeline on set of 3-1 in the 4th Volleyball League. The Lionesses lost the services of opposite attacker Sharon Jepchumba, who joined Greece side Aris Thessaloniki back in October. The head coaches, however, expressed optimism in the young blood to propel the team to glory once the season comes to an end. KCB won the second set 25-20, while Kenya Pipeline claimed the first set, winning 25-23, the third set 25-20, and the fourth set 25-20. Now, the last games of the La Liga matches took place on Thursday. Real Madrid beat Cadiz 2-1, while Valencia smashed Real Betis 3-0, and Rayo Vallecano settled for a barren draw against Celta Vigo. Barcelona led with 37 points in their rivalries, Real Madrid on a margin of 2 points. Most leagues have stopped allowing players to get ready to represent